Mathematicians, may I get your attention?
Yes, you can.
When I say go, and only when I say go, you're going to be silent and solo. Put your dry erase board. When I say go, only when I say go, you're going to put your dry erase boards in your seat sack and your dry erase marker in the groove of your desk. Jasmine, what are we getting ready to do?
We're gonna put our board and our pizza, and we're gonna put our marker in
Thank you, Jasmine. Go. I see Giovanni has put his board in his seat sack. I see that Jaylee has her marker in her desk. Tobias is moving to put his board in his seat sack. And Ariel is back in the slant, ready to start. Jacob is nice and silent and moves solo. I have most of the class in slant, ready to get started. I see that Jasmine is there. We just need one more in the back to get started. I see everybody has their markers in the groove of their desk, and their dry erase boards are in their seat sack. Thank you. We have to move a little bit faster to earn our point to get to wear our socks during class. At this time, I have all of my girls with their eyes tracking me, and I have my boys. Thank you. So before we get started with our lesson today, remember our behavior expectations are slant. So right now you should be sitting in your seat. You should be all the way up to your desk. Your feet should be flat on the floor or in front of you. And your hands are laced on Princeton. Your eyes are tracking the speaker so that you are actively engaged and ready to ask or answer questions throughout the lesson when it's your turn. There is no talking until you have permission to talk. And I have a fabulous class ready to get started. So yesterday we learned how to read a bar graph for information needed to solve a two-step problem. Today, I'm going to teach you, and we're going to continue our learning about reading the bar graphs and getting the information we need to solve one-step and two-step word problems. Here is your vocabulary. Just as a reminder, this vocabulary is located in your class notebook. Sometimes you will need this with your collaborative work or your independent work. But today, when we're working together, I want you to focus on your bar graphs and the types of scales that we're using. And so today we're going to be looking at bar graphs that sometimes use a scale that has more than one. So if your bar graph has greater numbers, a greater scale has to be used. Once you study the scale, you can use that data to solve your problems. Here's the anchor chart that we've been using to help us with these word problems. You have this anchor chart located on your desk. It is also located in your class notebook in your math section for you to reference whenever you need it. We also have solve located here on our board. Your success criteria for today. You actually have 6 questions today. And so you need to score at least 83% accuracy for me to know you have mastered the content for today. So that means you need to get 5 questions out of 6 correct. So here's how our lesson will flow today. I will model for you first. During that time, you're going to hear me talk. You're going to hear me ask questions. You are silent. You're watching. You're listening. I don't need you to answer any of the questions. Those are some things that you should be doing when you're doing your work collaboratively or independently. Then we will move into doing a guided practice together. That's when you get to come in and start talking and working with me. You do not need to raise your hand. I will ask someone for their help. That way we give everyone enough think time before we start to talk. And finally, we will move into our collaborative partners and you will complete an activity together. During that time, I will not be helping you. I will be walking around, listening, watching you. So if you need help during that time, you should be collaborating with your partner. We will end the lesson with an independent activity in our class notebook. All right, it's my time. Let me scan the room very quickly. I have all my girls, almost all my girls in slant, ready to get started. And I'm just waiting on one more, and we're ready to go. I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. That's how much time I get. And it's here for you to know when it's going to be your turn to jump in. So, here's a bar graph that I was studying. And my question is, how many more students like the ring toss than balloon darts? So the first thing I need to do is I may need to stop and look at the graph and just read the question one more time to make sure I understand what it is I am solving for. How many more students like the ring toss than balloon darts? Thank you, Jocelyn, for your eyes. So now that I've read the question and I've studied the problem, I'm going to ask myself, what is it I need to solve for? Well, I am going to start with my scratch paper here by making a note to myself. Then I can just write solve down the side so I can make sure I'm going through my steps. And the S I need to solve for like more students. Thank you, Jacob. Like the ring toss. That's what I'm solving for. Like more students that like the ring toss. Now that I know what I'm solving for, I have to go and look and organize the facts. But because I'm working with a bar graph, I remember that my facts have to come from the data on the graph. So that's my next step. I'm going to move to the graph, and I am going to look at each bar, and I am going to write down what each bar equals. So the duck pond is 20. The ring toss is 25. Thank you, Tobias. The balloon darts are 10. And the flipping frogs, 15. So on my scratch paper, I need to make a note of that. That duck is 20. Ring is 25. Balloon is 10. And the frogs is 15. Now I've thought about the facts, I've organized the facts, but I also need to think about what facts do I need to solve this problem. So because I need to know like more students that like the ring toss than the balloon darts, ooh, I need to put that so I'll know. I am realizing that I don't need all of this for this problem. I need the ring and I need the balloon. So I'm just gonna circle that to know. I don't need the duck for this one, and I don't need the frogs for this one. So now I can move into lining up a plan. What am I going to do to find out how many more students like ring toss than the balloon darts? I'm gonna think, what operation am I going to use and what strategy am I going to use with that operation? Well, since I'm trying to find out how many more, I think I am going to subtract. Ring toss minus balloon darts. Now keep in mind, I still have not done anything with my numbers. I haven't added anything, I haven't subtracted anything, I haven't done anything with my numbers. Right now, I'm just thinking through this problem. So now I have a plan to subtract. Okay, sorry. And I know what I'm subtracting. The ring toss minus the balloon darts. Now I can move into the V, which is verifying my plan. I am going to subtract the ring toss and the balloon darts to see if that works. But guys, I missed something in my L. I didn't name my strategy. Remember, we need an operation and we need a strategy. So if I'm subtracting, I know I like to use my base 10 models. I just have a faster way of drawing my base 10 models with my squares and my sticks and my dots. So now I can use my base 10 models to subtract the ring toss from the balloon darts. So I am going to take 25 minus 10, and I'm going to use my base 10 models to do that. Some of you may be fluent with your subtraction and you may be able to do it in your head, but we still want to show our work to make sure that we are not leaving anything out. So I have 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 10. So if I take away 10, then that leaves me with 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So my answer is 15. When I go to the E, I need to examine my results. Does my answer seem reasonable? And what can I do to check to make sure my answer is correct? Well, since I subtracted with my plan, I can use the inverse of addition to check to make sure I am correct. Thank you for your eyes, Rayla. So I can take my answer, 15, and add it to the 10 balloon darts. And let's see if I come up with 25